We have officially been on, not quarantine, we've been sheltering in place for almost 2 weeks now. Tomorrow's going to make 2 weeks since we decided to go ahead and lock ourselves down before the governor or the president decided to. And hell if I know what the hell the president's doing at this point. Honestly, I'm scared. I am terrified. I spoke to the doctor, actually the nurse that manages my pain control and kind of holistic care. I go to Stanford and they're fantastic, but I can't go down there and see my doctors right now, and they are switching most people to video conferencing for calls or phone calls if they don't have access to a cell phone that they can do the video calls through. And I need to have a PET scan. I get Botox for headaches that are excruciating. I need to have my port replaced pretty quickly. I need to have pelvic surgery, and I'm in a shit ton of pain. Pardon my language there, but I'm scared. And honestly, I don't think that if I were to end up in the hospital needing respiratory support, that I would be chosen to get one of the ventilators. And that sucks. It's scary. I've been in the position before where the ICU team came in and told me, Jillian, we're going to have to go ahead and take you to ICU. You are not perfusing oxygen and your organs are failing. We are going to sedate you and ventilate you so that your body can take a break. And you're going to be okay, but we have to do this. And thankfully the respiratory therapists were able to get enough oxygen into me with high flow nasal cannulas and masks. And I survived severe sepsis, and the sepsis was caused by Mycobacterium avian complex. And because of that, I developed a cytokine storm known as hemophagolymphohistiocystitis, or HLH. And it is very rare in adults, but it's very, very serious. And without prompt diagnosis, most people die within a couple months or less. I had been infected with MAC and went in every 3 weeks or so with with symptoms of sepsis. My blood pressure was tanking. My heart rate was tanking. I was not making enough blood cells. I was not making enough white cells. I was not making enough lymphocytes, platelets. And nobody could figure out what was going on. It turns out I had sarcoidosis from getting a tainted infection at that hospital. And I also was having trouble with a hidden infection with MAC, and it was hiding out in my lungs. And one day I woke up with my lungs clicking, and holy crap, I cannot tell you how scary that is. I can't tell you what it's like I can't, but to actually be there, to not be able to get the oxygen that you need, to feel like you are drowning. You can't lay down. You can't lean back. You are gasping and struggling and not even thinking straight because your brain doesn't have what it needs. So I can't tell you enough how important it is to stay home. If you can avoid going to the grocery store, if you can avoid going to the doctor or to the anywhere, if you can stay home, do it. For Christ's sake, do it. If not just for yourself, for everyone else. For people like me that have no choice. For my kids that need their mother. For the healthcare workers that don't have a choice, the first responders and healthcare workers and volunteers, excuse me for 1 second. Okay, excuse me. For everyone that is God, for the nurses that are and doctors that are having to make life and death decisions, where they're having to decide to tell people, yes, we can intubate you, yes, we can try to save you, or I'm sorry, you're going to go home and die. How we can be at a place like this in what is supposed to be a great United States. Let's make America greater. Well, shit. We don't even have the masks that our nurses and doctors and other healthcare workers need. We don't have any kind of PPE for them, protective equipment. They don't have the gowns and the hats and the masks that they need. And even my home healthcare nurse is having to reuse her masks. And I'm going to share with you real quick where I'm sitting. Let's see if we can do this without, showing you all my junk. But I am at my serger and I have a stack of, sorry for that. Oh goodness, you're seeing, yeah, okay, this is a horrible view, but I'm sitting at my serger and, wrong direction. Anyway, sewing machine. I have fabric everywhere because I've been going through and actually holding it to my face before I, seeing if it is very breathable, because these doctors and nurses and everyone, they're having to wear they're stuck with one mask, and these cloth masks will not prevent you from getting COVID, but they will allow you to reuse that mask a little bit longer. And you can change this outer layer and wash and sanitize them. And then, unfortunately, keep the mask. Some nurses have been given one mask and they're told they have to use it for the rest of the year. This is their mask. They put it in a brown paper bag at the end of their shift and take it with them. And they have to carry it with them. They put it on at the beginning of their shift, and that's it. Those that do have PPE are reusing it, and they can't, not that nurses get much time to go to the bathroom, but they can't take it off. They have to leave that on all day, which means that they're not urinating. They can't drink. They can't keep themselves healthy. And it's not okay. It's not okay. There's so many concerns, and Jesus, I don't even know. I can't even speak to all those, but what I can ask you at this point is to stay home. Stay the hell home. We can stop this. We can level out this curve by staying at home. And it's going to take a hell of a lot longer than Easter. It's more than 2 weeks. It's more than some aspirational goal, as Dr. Fauci called this. This Easter is not realistic. We need to be home. And for as long as possible, we need the support of our country. We need to support each other right now. I can't go out to markets and I'm fully stocked with soap. I was getting ready for Mother's Day and Father's Day, and that was it. As soon as we started seeing that how serious this was and that there was spread, we decided to go ahead and get the supplies we needed. And my husband is the only one going out when he absolutely has to, and he wears a VOG mask or N95. He wears gloves, and before coming in the house, his shoes come off. As soon as he steps in, his clothes are taken off and thrown into the washing machine. And he gets in the shower. And that's only happening for things that we can't have delivered, but it's scary. It really is. We've got we had a preemie, a little boy born at 32 weeks, and we are blessed that he is very, very healthy. But he was on a ventilator and bubble pap and nasal cannula for some time, and even though he's healthy, he's at risk. His immune system isn't developed, and God, Adam, I'm more worried about him than myself. But my kids name me. So stay the fuck at home.